Alright, my friends, so it's time for us to focus on the course details task. This one is really a bit challenging because in order for us to do that, we are going to use React Router, and it's very simple one. Now, here is the thing. What I'd like to do, it is to if you remember, if you already watch the React Router class or the React Router section, then you already know how to show the details for each course, because this is something that we have talked about in depth in the React Router section. So if you have watched that class, then I'm gonna ask you to show the details for each course. Then it's gonna be super easy for you and you can do it in a matter of minutes. All right, so you already know the steps. Let's go ahead and implement them one by one. So the first thing first right here is that I want to get the course details component, which is a very simple component that will go ahead and display this information that you can see on the screen. Well, rewrite this component from scratch will take a lot of time because we have only a markup as well as some CSS. So you can go ahead and write them by your own. What I'm going to do, I'm going to provide you with this component. Alright, so you can go ahead and download it from the resources for this lecture. And by the way, this is the exact same component that we have built in the React Router. So if you have watched the React Router, then you already have that component and you don't even to download it. You don't even need to download it. However, you can go ahead and download it right now. And once you download it, you will get the course details like this. And what you want, I want you to copy the course details, copy it, the entire component, going back, paste it inside your components folder, alright, like that. And if you open it up, a very simple one, a very basic one. Now what I'd like to do, it is to remove everything that has nothing to do with the markup. For example, I want you to remove this logic. Alright, and I want you to remove the import data like that. I want you to keep it purely for CSS as well as for the markup. Alright, we want to be a bit specific right here. Alright, and keep everything else as it is. Now this is the first step, which is to grab that component. Now going back to our app.js, we have to define a route for the course details. Let's go ahead and do that. So here inside our app.js, I'm gonna define a route, alright, like that. And I'm gonna say the path should equal to courses slash like that, and then we are gonna place the ID for the course as a parameters that will be passed later on. Right, so this is just a route, and depend on that route, the component that should be loaded, it is the course details. Alright, so the course details, let me check the name. Yeah, course details, very simple one. And I have to import that component. So the course details. So here on the top, I'm just gonna say import course details from, give it the path for this component. So component slash course details slash this thing right here. And we will see, of course, some errors, some issues that telling us, hey, in your course details, you are trying to display these informations, course.title, course image, whatever, but you don't have defined the course. Don't worry, we are gonna fix that later on. For the time being, the only part is missing is that once the user click on the title in our application, because we got an error, so that's why I showed you this final result. Once the user click on the title, we are gonna load that component, so we can go ahead and turn the title into a component, or sorry, into a link. So open your course item. Here is the title. All right, and now what I'd like to do, it is to go ahead and import a link. Let me say import link from React Router DOM. So import link like that from React Router DOM. And also we can use it very simply here inside our title. So I'm just gonna give it a space, say link, close it up, and here I'm just gonna place my h1 inside it, or sorry, h3. And here what we want to do, we want to say 2, and here we have to pass it the ID for the course. And a very simple way, it is used the backticks for concatenation here. And here I'm just gonna say slash courses slash, and here I'm gonna place the ID by saying course.id. So once the user click on the title, what we are going to do, we are gonna navigate him or her to this path, right? And we already have defined a route that will wait for that path, and it will load the course details component. A very simple one. Now, of course, we are going to have these issues. In the next video, we are going to talk about it and how we can fix it up. So thank you, my friends, so much for watching. See you in the next one.